constructive communication. In my opening presentation, I dared to make some introduction to the communication in general and its importance for the nature protection. And in the second part of the presentation, I would like to show you, to bring some few examples from Slovakia, how the communication in the and for the nature protection can be presented in Slovakia. So, nature conservation and communication. To protect something usually or almost regularly means to impose some restrictions and bans that we have to accept. However, the acceptance is easier for us people if we know and we understand things and circumstances. My colleague Zbigniew from Poland uses a bon mot, which I like very much, that conservation without money is just a conversation. I dare to spread this bon mot, that conservation, even with money, but without communication, is just a communication. And the question is, if we want to unificate the nature? And the answer is, of course, no, we do not. We should explore nature, we should understand nature, we should live with and in the nature, and we should help to protect the nature with all means we are at disposal. So, and the communication is a tool which is really absolutely perfect for the nature protection. You probably all know, for sure you know, these nice paintings very well. The School of Athens is one of the most well-known paintings from the Renaissance time, which was created by the Italian artist Raphael. The painting shows figures, persons, representing diverse subjects of philosophy and science. Socrates, Euclid, Pythagoras, Diogenes, Ptolemy, Heraclitus can be seen in the picture. And in the center of the painting, of the picture, are shown as main figures, main persons, Plato and Aristotle, engaged in a dialogue. Plato is representing the power of ideas, need for confrontation of diverse opinions. Plato is the man in the left. And Aristotle is representing the power of a common experience that can be justified, described, arranged with a need of a correct way of thinking and argumentation. I took this picture as an example because this painting represents for me a huge power of exchanging thoughts of greatest thinkers of ancient times or ever. I chose this picture in order to illustrate how complex and seriously has been considered the communication actually since ever. Another my favorite citation is from Mark Twain. In the beginning was the word, and then came misunderstanding. And actually, it's really truly thought, because there is a very thin line between what is said and what is heard on the other side, and there are hundreds of ways how exactly the same words can be said and can be heard. We experience each day different ways of communication. Communication can be angry and loud. Communication can be really whisperly and cordially. The communication we experience can be as if in foreign language there are many words and we do not understand. But the communication can be also very open and very constructive. And in the last years, what we experienced in our decades, last years and decades that the communication can be online. So we do not meet anymore face to face, and this is really tricky. Okay, this was just an introduction to the whole symposium, and I am aware that I did not bring you any news in these three starting slides. I just wanted to stress that the communication in general is so crucial and actually existential in each our activity. And the communication is so demanding as regards energy and skills that it is almost impossible not to fail now and then in the communication. It's just good to bear in mind the power of the communication in each situation we experience. And the citizen science, which is the main topic of our today's symposium, is also one of many mosaic shards that can be a valid tool in communication in and for nature protection. So in the following slides, I would use the opportunity, and I would like to present 3 examples from Slovakia on the communication in different fields of nature protection, in concrete, in education, in cooperation and management measures, and in visitor experience. Every of following examples represents also the potential for the implementation of citizen science approaches and models. First example, you can already see on the screen, shows the environmental education within the state nature conservancy of the Slovak Republic. As you know, this is the Slovak institution, organization who has competence for the nature protection in the Slovakia. They really do a great job as for environmental education of kids, youth, and also public adults. Here are some examples from their work. In particular, the School of Nature Protection in Varin is settled in National Park Mala Fatra, and is specialized in diverse activities for environmental education, and has also some experience with citizen science approaches. In general, educational programs for schools and public events are focused on senses, on creative skills, and active experiencing of nature protection. And activities are based mainly on development of communication skills and teamwork. So the education was the first example where the citizen science has big potential in Slovakia to be implemented. Another field, which is really very hard field, is the cooperation with stakeholders. As an example, I would like to introduce the approach of management in Biosphere Reserve Poljana, which is in the central Slovakia. In 2015, there was implemented a pilot project of participative management, and the coordination board was established. And from then, the tasks and challenges are currently managed in a close cooperation and in coordination with local and regional stakeholders. Managers of protected area communicate with stakeholders on a regular basis, and decisions are taken by consensus. This management model opens the door for an efficient implementation of the nature protection measures in a common way, and with a wide support and help of local stakeholders. So you can see on the picture that people meet and that people or managers and local stakeholders implement the management measures of nature protection in a common way. That's really important for maintaining the values of the area. So, and the last in my presentation, last example, how the communication in the nature protection can be developed, or where it can be developed, is of course the ecotourism and the communication as essence of visitors' experience. Ecotourism represents a form of a sustainable tourism focused on experiencing nature and wildness, often is guided by a person. So the guided tours are an essence of the ecotourism. Ecotourism contributes to the nature protection as well as to the community welfare. The education of visitors using proper interpretation methods is one of the key attributes of the ecotourism products. So guided tours can be an excellent tool for the introduction of citizen science concepts in favor of the nature protection in Slovakia. So this is actually a short intro or short excursion in the many possible fields where the Slovakia can implement principles of citizen science for the purpose of nature protection in Slovakia.